Next one. Samson says, "Hi Stevie. What were some things that you absolutely refused to do, no matter if it meant being fired?" And we've got a follow-up question as well, but we'll leave that at there. Have you ever point blank said no?
No, no, not really. The only time I ever said no to something was Brian Christopher in Canada. I was supposed to work him on Heat, and I was planning to work Lance Storm. It was his last match in WWE on Sunday Night Heat. Brian Christopher had just like literally we are supposed to do like 6 minutes of just kind of back and forth, the most 50-50 booking, Brian going over. But Brian wanted to suplex me on the ramp. He wanted to drop a leg on me from the top rope to the floor. He wanted to do all these things. And I told Johnny Ace, I go, dude, and I said, well, Brian, they want us to do that. No, no, we're going to do it this way. I was like, he's putting me in positions where I'm going to get hurt too. Certain things. I had a bad back at the time, still do, and getting suplexed on Heat on a railing, or not a railing, on a ramp, it hurts. So I told Johnny, and I go, he was, well, hey, what would you rather do, Stevie? I'm your pal. So I said, I'd rather work Lance because I that's what I was looking forward to doing because I want to give him the best send off as an active competitor that he can have. And I don't have a problem putting him over, showcasing him. I only have a problem with Brian because Brian is going way off the reservation and I'm going to get hurt. I'd rather do this. If you want me to work him, that's fine. So I didn't outwardly refuse, but it was like literally the first time I protested anything, I think, since I've been with the company. And it got switched. And Brian wasn't happy. And I did explain to him, like, dude, I'm going to get in trouble as much as you will. I go, but, and he was like, oh man, you don't want to work me. You think I'm dangerous, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, you can be the safest worker on the planet. You suplex me on the ramp, it's going to hurt, right? So it was left out. He didn't talk to me for a while after that, but it all got forgotten after a while, and Lance was pretty happy.
I was just going to say, because that sounds like around 2004. I hadn't realised that Brian Christopher briefly came back in 2004.
That was when he came back.
Why didn't he last? Dare I ask?
I don't know. I mean, there's been rumors about, I mean, he had demons and stuff going on. I can't speak out of that. But what I can say is that he came back. So basically him coming back with that second chance. And I hate to speak ill because I wish we could both talk about it right now, but he's gone, unfortunately. Looking at it back like that, I'm glad I did it because it was the completely wrong thing to do. And I probably would have got all the heat because he was more politically aligned. The reason why he probably came back for the short time. But I didn't understand it too, because it's like, dude, you just came back and you're already like dictating all this stuff, and it's not even what they told us to do, and it's not safe, and it's Heat. So what if they did that on Raw or SmackDown? Probably we were Heat, so it was Raw was after Heat. So what if somebody did that spot on Raw, then they come to us and they go, "What the hell? We were going to do that for a finish or a count out or whatever." That's the way I was thinking.
So
Matter
this
of
is in
fact, thinking back on it, I said to Brian, sorry to interrupt.
No, no.
I had said to Brian, well, let's go check to make sure nobody is doing that on Raw. He goes, no, no, don't do it. Don't worry about it. Nobody's doing it. I go, let's at least ask the agent if we can go outside because it's Heat. I'm the GM. I know exactly what to do. I know what the rules are. But that's what I mean. The constant refusal to even have us get any checks or clearance or approval for any of these spots. If somebody said, no, that's good, you can do whatever you guys want. First of all, I believe I was being set up if they did that. But second of all, the fact that he kept doing that, I was like, man, I'm just like in the middle of all this. I just need to get myself out of the whole situation.
So on that episode of Heat that I looked up, he wrestled a local that was in the Saddle Dome in Calgary, and you ended up wrestling Lance Storm for 5 minutes and 2 seconds. There you go.
Let's do a watch along on that. That was one of my most enjoyable matches. I'm glad Lance got a good send off.
Why was Lance leaving? Was he just done?
No, he was done wrestling. I don't know if he was leaving. That's the strange part. That would have to be a question for him. I don't know what he was doing after that, if he was planning to be an agent or he opened up his school not long after that, I believe, or somewhere around that. I don't know the timeline. Like I said, we go back to the previous question. There's certain people I wish I kind of had more conversations with, but we all had our walls up, and Lance is the same type of dude I am. I think I want to show up. I want to do my thing. I want to kind of be left alone as much as possible, and I want to get the hell out of here and go back to my family.
Did you ever wrestle Brian Christopher anywhere?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, right to censor, right to censor. It was him, Scotty, and Rikishi. I believed I wrestled him in Memphis once as well. You know, and obviously being in Memphis, him being Jerry Lawler's son, that was right along the lines of. But then I just let him call it whatever he wanted. If I believe we wrestled there, I know we had a lot to do with them. Right to censor versus Too Cool.
I'm just figuring in the way that you said it there. Was he just trying to get noticed by agents? Because I'm looking at where he wrestled. He was on Raw. No, I'm sorry, it's 2014. House Show, Heat. Couple of Raws, a couple of Heats. That was it. Was he just trying to get noticed?
Yeah, I think he was just trying to show that he could do all that stuff again, but doing it all on the outside when it doesn't make sense on a secondary show is just kind of. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, maybe it was an overexertion or an over. He wanted to impress everybody so much to say he's better than ever. He can still go. I never asked him. That's another dude. I mean, maybe we would have got along fine. He liked playing video games. I like playing video games. We could. Hey, you could be a tag team. Not us. They were disappointed we haven't done the Gurria in a few episodes.
We should just have an entire. If I can master Tony Gurria's impression and you can do Tommy Dreamer for just the entire show.
Oh, everybody be asleep in 90 seconds.